In 1984, beneath the rhythmic thunder of presses at the United States Mint in Denver, a small copper-plated coin came into existence, the 1984D Lincoln penny. Warm from its strike, edges sharp, surface gleaming like a tiny sunrise, on its face rested the thoughtful profile of Abraham Lincoln, a quiet reminder of endurance and unity, though the coin itself knew nothing of symbolism yet. It only knew motion. Packed in a heavy canvas bag with thousands of identical companions, it rattled through transport trucks, vault rooms, and counting machines until one ordinary morning it slipped into circulation, beginning a journey far greater than its single-cent value could suggest. Its first home was a corner grocery store, exchanged for a piece of bubblegum by a child who barely noticed the date stamped upon it. From there it traveled in pockets lined with lint and receipts, in purses that smelled faintly of perfume, in jars half filled with spare change on kitchen counters, where morning sunlight poured in through curtains. The coin felt the warmth of hands, the chill of winter air, the echo of conversations it could never fully understand. Laughter, arguments, hurried decisions, quiet reflections. It rode in a bus fare box during a rainy afternoon commute, tapping against other coins like a soft metallic chorus. It rested in a parking meter on a busy street, counting down minutes as footsteps hurried past, each stride part of a life it briefly touched. Years passed, and the once brilliant shine softened into a gentle matte glow, its copper surface marked with tiny scratches each, one a memory etched by time. One summer, the penny found itself in the pocket of a traveler driving across wide, open highways, the landscape stretching endlessly beneath blue skies. It listened to the hum of tires against pavement and the crackle of radio songs drifting through open windows. When that traveler stopped at a roadside diner, the coin paid for a cup of coffee that warmed cold hands on an early morning. It slipped into a tip jar beside folded bills and other coins, sharing a moment of stillness among strangers who would never know its path. It passed into the hands of a waitress, saving spare change in a glass container at home, where it rested for months, quietly observing the rhythm of ordinary evening's television murmuring softly. Pages turning in books, the gentle ticking of a wall clock marking the steady flow of time. Eventually the jar was emptied, and the penny returned to motion, tumbling once more into the unpredictable stream of circulation. Decades layered themselves upon the coin's existence like chapters in a book no one had written. It survived economic changes, technological shifts, and countless exchanges, always moving yet always the same at its core. In a school hallway, it was given as change for a notebook. In a laundromat, it rolled across a tiled floor before being scooped up and dropped into a vending machine. It listened to the hum of washing machines, the murmur of conversations in many accents, the simple persistence of everyday life unfolding moment by moment. The coin bore silent witness to birthdays, road trips, quiet struggles, small victories, tiny fragments of human experience that together formed a vast and invisible story. Though it was often overlooked, it was never truly without purpose. Even unnoticed, it connected people through the simple act of exchange. Time eventually led the penny into the hands of a young collector, searched through jars of change with careful attention. Fingers paused when they felt the date 1984 and noticed the small D mint mark beneath the year. To most, it was ordinary, but to the collector, it represented a piece of history, a survivor of countless journeys. Placed gently into a protective holder, the coin finally found rest after decades of motion. Under soft light, its worn surface revealed subtle patterns shaped by time itself, each mark a whisper of where it had been. The collector imagined the stories it carried: the grocery counters, the bus rides, the quiet pockets, the distant roads, and felt a sense of wonder that something so small could hold so much unseen history, now preserved. The 1984D Lincoln penny no longer travels from hand to hand, yet its story continues in a different way. It becomes a reminder that even the simplest objects move through the currents of human life, touching moments both ordinary and extraordinary. Once just a piece of change, it stands as a tiny witness to decades of movement, a silent traveler through time, proving that value is not always measured in numbers, but in the journeys endured and the memories quietly carried forward. And so, within its worn copper surface, lives a story not of wealth, but of passage of time, of people, and of a humble coin that spent years listening to the heartbeat of everyday life before finally finding stillness.